The one thing I said I was going to do is not shoot wide. And the first photo of the day looks like I'm just going to abandon that task and shoot wide. I am currently walking along the beach at North Berwick, just to the east of Edinburgh. Lovely wee town, it's gorgeous, but there's been a shot of wanting to get here for quite a while. An outdoor paddling pool. And what it's nice to have is just a bit of water within there, also water on the outside of that as well, because it's quite rocky round about there, which doesn't make a nice image. But we want a bit of movement in the sea as well. That way we'll have a long exposure and it softens everything up, and then the backdrop behind that is, you can just see, where is it, over there, the Bass Rock. So I did a video ages and ages ago that I was going to come back here and take some photos of this image, but by the time I got here the tide was out, so it's not really, it hasn't been an option since. So when I got down there, I realised that the tide is in fact not far in enough. So park that idea over just now. I'll head to the original destination, into the wooded area. So I've set myself a little challenge in this wooded area. What I'm going to do is just have my 50mm on my camera. The reason for this is I always struggle with wooded areas. I feel like they're so busy, there's just so much going on, and I think because I usually shoot with a 17 to 40mm, it covers so much, and it's hard to really, you know, find something that's worth taking a shot of in the wooded area. So thought process is keep things kind of tight, slightly you know, looking for textures, looking for colours, that kind of thing, rather than the big vista. So I'm thinking if I just go out my 50mm on the camera, then that should kind of limit me and restrict me and change my my thought process when looking for a composition. So that's the plan. So we'll see how we get on. This is us in the forest, and yeah, I'm going to stick with my just use the 50, but unfortunately I've just come across this lovely opening with a beautiful tree right in the middle of it, if you can see it there. So ordinarily it'd be like that, right, tripod down, 17mm, boom, get the whole scene, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick with 50mm. Which just means I'll have to come back and take this another time, which is fine because it's not that nice a day anyway. I think it would be more interest with the better light, and that was one of the other reasons I thought when I woke up today. I said, well, I want to do some photographs, but the weather-wise, it's not really exciting at all with the light. So let's try things different. Let's stick this 50mm on the camera and just do kind of intimate close-up landscape photographs, looking at things, texture, colours, and just kind of, just changing the perception of what it is to take a landscape shot. And that is the plan. But that is a beautiful photo with the colours. It is stunning. With the red and the green. The first photograph of the day, and I'm going to break my rule. I'm going to break the one thing I said I was going to do is not shoot wide, and the first photo of the day looks like I'm just going to abandon that task and shoot wide. You've got the leading line coming straight up in front of the camera, going towards and just underneath this this beautiful tree. Not very good with trees, no idea what kind of tree it is, but it's got this kind of, it's got a glow about it, which is really nice compared to the rest of the trees surrounding here, which are all green. This has got this kind of brownish maroon colour to it, so it really stands out from the rest of the trees here. So settings wise, what have I got? I'm going for bracketed, no surprise, bit of bracketing going on here. Again, just to give me as much information as I possibly can, throw them together, and you know, from darkening something that's a wee bit too bright, sky is very bright and there's not an awful information there going at all, and then obviously we've got the dark bark of the tree, which, you know, if I allow for that, then it's going to be blown out in the sky. If I allow for the sky, then there's going to be no information in the tree at all. So this is why the brackets are going to be utilised here, just to blend them all together, so it gives you a nice range to make the most of the image. So what I've got here, I've got it on f9, setting ISO is L, which is 50 on the 5D. I have read somewhere that it's not the greatest setting to put things on. It's a special setting you have in here, and it extends the ISO, so you can extend it further up for I think it goes to 3200. Not too sure. I never go that high up over for landscape, but I go low for landscape, so it's ISO 50. But what I might do, just out of interest, I'll do this on a 50 ISO, and then I'll do another one exactly the same but on ISO 100, because I have heard, and I think it was another vlogger, or maybe I read it somewhere, that colour saturation is better at ISO 100 compared to ISO 50. So we'll see, we'll try it out, we'll put both of them together and see what the outcome is, just as a raw image, and just to see what we have to work with, and then I'll edit both of them exactly the same and see what comes out with more contrast in the colours. But we'll go ahead and take the shot now, and then I'll bump it up to ISO 100, and we'll have a side-by-side comparison. Okay. Nice one. That's looking good, and yeah, let's finish up here and let's keep on walking. And I'll put the 50 back on. I'm following my my rule for today, which I've not done very well so far, and yeah, let's look for other possible shots. So I seem to be concentrating my gaze up towards the canopy with these lovely coloured leaves, and kind of aiming through the leaves and going towards some of the branches, the dark branches, in amongst this nice kind of soft green. And I've taken a couple of pictures like that. It's quite abstract, I guess. I've got quite a shallow depth of field going on. I'm sitting at 1.8, f-stop 1.8, just so these the leaves that are close by, the ones that are lower down, just become blurred and just become a kind of crescent of green. That seems to be working out quite nice, but yeah, you can only take so many pictures pointing up unless you really want to go quite strangely abstract and have a series of those. But I'm currently looking for other shots. Nothing really jumping out, unfortunately. But it's lovely just having a walk in the woods. It's nice, it's very peaceful. Lots of bird chatter, but apart from that, not another sound. It's just me that's here. It's lovely. The truth, I am seeing nothing. No inspiration, nothing is popping out at all for me to think, that'll make a fantastic photo. Yeah, the only photo I'm happy with so far is the one I took with, with my wide angle lens. Which is not the plan, that wasn't really what this was all about. This was supposed to be different mindset, looking at things differently, the different lens, 50. But so far, I've been snapping away. Some photos have been pretty okay, making them quite dark, so it's that kind of bit Instagrammy, walk in a forest type of shot. But there's really nothing much else. It's just as I expected. Lots of trees. It's just too much to look at. I think that's what the problem is. It's just cluttered and busy and not giving me too much hope for the rest of today. But I'll keep on walking. I'll see, maybe it just takes a wee bit of time for the mind and the eye to get used to just a little 50 in such a busy area. I've just been looking, it's quite disrupted, this area. There's quite a lot of hacking back, and I'm currently on this kind of dirt road path. So if you can see behind me, just there's a beautiful kind of youngish tree with all its leaves on, and there's just a natural path between the two trees that I can reach with the 50. So what I've done, obviously there's quite a lot of debris and stuff on the ground there, so I've kind of aimed from about here up, which gives quite a nice perspective of the trees coming together, with that as a standalone piece on the focus. And I've reduced the f-stop. You might be wondering why about this, but I've reduced the f-stop right down to 1.8, and obviously that's going to allow a lot of light, too much light to come in, because it's the middle of the day, it's bright, it's fine. But what I've done, I've really such a quick exposure. And what that's done, that's allowed for the greenness of the tree, the new tree that's there, to really stand out and allow for all the other pines and the bigger tree that actually creates a kind of frame that tree there. It allows them to be a lot darker, so your eyes are drawn to that brightest part of the image, which is the green tree just here. I've been so focused on looking for possible shots that I've failed to take note or realise what way I came. So this turns out just to be a forest full of a network of paths, of which I didn't know what one I came along and came down. So this could take a wee bit longer than planned getting out of here. The sun is starting to shine through and highlight the green leaves, which is really great because they're really the one thing I feel like I'm photographing and making them stand out. Like that previous image that's utilising the darkness of the tree trunks, and got this kind of silvery green reflective quality on the actual leaves themselves. So any kind of light that comes through, it really brings them out. Using the shallow depth of field to to really make those the focal point, and that's the one thing that's in focus. Everything else is just kind of blurred away, and I've darkened the image quite a bit. It's quite a few stops below the desired exposure. Well, that was good. That was certainly different, challenging, but very relaxing at the same time. just having a wee wander through the forest and trying to pick out things that are slightly different, slightly not your normal kind of photo. Well, certainly not for me, because I don't do forestry shots. There's some fantastic photographers out there that do predominantly fantastic woodenscapes with you know, mist and fog and perfect shafts of light coming through the trees. And it's on the back of seeing those images on Instagram and Twitter that I thought, well, let's have a wee wander into the woods, just really to get my kind of senses and my mindset in gear. Whereas really you want to get into these kind of areas where it's you know, early morning with the mist and the softer light, or in the evening again as well for that same kind of thing. But it was good. It was certainly a worthwhile trip, and hopefully got some nice photos on the back of it. So right now we're going to go to, well, we're going to drive through North Berwick again. So we're just for those of you who are interested, we're not far from Tyningham, or Tyningham, depends where you say it, don't know what one's right. Tyningham or Tyningham. On the road back down here, we head back into North Berwick. So that's just all in the east of Edinburgh. Yeah, hopefully the tide level will be an ideal point for this next shot. If not, we'll revisit come another day. Well, as you can see, the tide is out. So there's no way of taking this photo today, unfortunately. But not to worry, it's not going to go anywhere. I'll come back at a later time and do a separate vlog on that, because it'll be lots of filters involved, most likely the big stopper, depending on the time of day and depending on the brightness, but the big stop will be brought out. So yeah, I'll go through and make a separate vlog on that. But that'll be that wrapped up for this week's vlog. Hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did, having a wee wander around the woods. It was good, something a wee bit different. Yeah, I got some different images. I think I need to work more on my 50mm head and my mindset on that. Or maybe it was just, you know, there wasn't an awful lot. Maybe I'm fine. Maybe there was just not an awful lot of opportunities and possibilities to take some photos during that walk. But it's a thing I'll certainly revisit. I think it's good to restrict yourself rather than having an abundance of various focal lengths. Sometimes that's just too much of a choice, and you kind of lose your direction quite a bit of what you're actually wanting to achieve on a photo shoot. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did enjoy it, please give us a wee subscribe if you haven't already. Leave some comments. If you guys that have taken photos and restricted yourself similar to how I did today with the 50, or maybe you've restricted yourself with other focal lengths because you're always using the 50, all these kind of things. Leave some comments and let me know how you've got on. It'd be really quite interesting to hear. And so that'll be that for just now, and catch you guys next time. Alright, take care, cheers.